What is going on, guys, and welcome back to Fightful Scraps here again today. And we are joined by someone who we've actually had on the channel before, Mr. Kid Lykos, before he does take on Trent Seven at It Burning Heart in Wolverhampton this Saturday. How are you doing today, Lykos?
I'm good. I've been rushing around a little bit, but I've just got back from the gym and I'm ready to go.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before we do get into Burning Heart, I do want to start with your tour of the United States along with Kid Like Us too.
Yeah.
An incredible tour across several promotions. Just want to ask what your main takeaway from that tour was after wrestling in the UK for so long.
Uh, I guess the main takeaway was British wrestling and American wrestling are very different. Um, which isn't a bad thing at all. It's a really interesting thing to go there and adapt to the audiences and the wrestlers there and apply our like British style to that type of audience and see how it works and see how it plays out. So it was fun to just develop and do something different because it's such a departure from our scene. So it was very fun to go out there and try new things and learn more about myself as a wrestler.
Would there have been a significant highlight during your time in the States? Was there a match that really stood out to you or an appearance that stood out to you?
Uh, we had a couple matches that I was really real happy with. The first match we had on the tour was a six man from Deadlock, which was awesome. It was like the best of British in the sense of myself, Lykos II, and Leon Slater versus some real fun American guys. I can't put over Manders, one called Manders, Thomas Shire enough, and another person called BK Westbrook, who I'd never met or seen it before, and he's ridiculously athletic, and he has some kind of association with Andrew Everett, so I think you can
Yeah.
guess where he's learning some of his tricks of the trade. And then we wrestled a team called PME, the Philly Marino Experience, a couple times. We wrestled them at Glory Pro, and that was really fun. That's free on YouTube now, which is great. And we also wrestled a team called Alienated Youth, who are two like maybe 18-year-olds who just 1 or 2 years in, and they did great. So a few matches I was quite proud of and meant a lot in different ways, I guess, whilst I was out there.
And you mentioned they're teaming with like us too, and you've been kind of back to being a tag team wrestler after being a singles wrestler for quite a bit, and bringing it back to Burning Heart. The last tour with Burning Heart, you were teaming with like us too. Like us, Jim took on three different teams during the tour. This go around in Wolverhampton, you will be wrestling a singles match against Trent Seven. Uh, what does are you looking forward to? Are you looking forward to kind of doing something different in Burning Heart this go around?
Uh, of course. Like last time was real fun because I think people forget how good of a junior heavyweight tag team me and Lycos two are, especially off the back of the singles run I've just had with the Progress World title. So people have seemingly forgot. So getting to prove that with some great teams over Burning Heart's last tour was wicked because we got to compete with the Rascals, Rascals with the X, I guess, Robbie X and Zach Wentz, and then the Hunter brothers, who are the godfathers of British tag team wrestling, and then the GYV, who I don't have to put over. We all know how good they are, and stand our own ground with it. But this time around, it's a kind of a special Wolverhampton match. I've never wrestled Trent Seven. We were both a part of like the big rise of wrestling in 2017 onwards, especially a big part of the Fight Club Pro rise. Obviously, Trent is inundated with Fight Club Pro. He's there from the start, but when I came in, I made an impact, and we've fought loads of times in tag matches, but we've never faced off in a singles, and it is a big deal to happen, and I'm very excited for it. But I am thinking about exactly how it was tweeted out because they said it was experience versus athleticism, which is true, but it's not experience in the sense of like how long someone's been wrestling because Trent's obviously been wrestling a very long time, but I've been wrestling since 2007. It's not experience in the sense of length, it's experience in the sense of where you've been and who you've learned from because
Mhm.
Trent's learned from people I can't even dream of learning from at this point, and he's been around with some incredible coaches, some incredible minds of professional wrestling. So his knowledge and experience outweighs mine exponentially. But that's where the fun part comes in, and see if I can hang with Trent Seven on that level.
And you mentioned there you've been wrestling since 2007. During that time, obviously, I'm sure you've come across growing promotions in their first few events. Obviously, with Burning Heart, Burning Heart still in the early days of the growth of the promotion. Uh, what has been your kind of again takeaways from the growth of Burning Heart and as a young promotion? And is there anything unique about it compared to maybe the more established promotions in the UK right now?
I think I'd love to just say immediately that it's a promotion by and for the wrestlers, but that's true of a lot of promotions nowadays. It's more that Burning Heart wants to do right by the audience as well as the wrestlers immediately. A lot of promotions need to work up to that and get there eventually, and there'll be hiccups along the way. Burning Heart immediately went went for it. They wanted to give the audience the best bang for their buck with good venues that could host all types of fans in all areas of the country, alongside great wrestling, because they want to provide what they believe the British scene can produce and show how good people are. I think that's great. I think that's they're offering, despite using similar talents from other companies, they're offering something different and offering matches that you wouldn't get to see because there's I guess, a collective of people putting it together who understand what can be put on in the UK.
Absolutely. And you mentioned there the last, and we talked about a bit already about the last Burning Heart tour teaming with Lykos II. You didn't get a shot at the Burning Heart tag team titles, but you did take on GYV. You mentioned Hunter Brothers, the Rascals with Next. After this Wolverhampton event, will your direction then turn back to the tag titles, or are you thinking, right, time to make a name for myself singles and Burning Heart?
Currently, there is no singles title in Burning Heart, so if I want to make the most money, if I want to achieve the most career goals, those tag titles are the way forward, and I want to get back the loss we had from Robbie X and Zach Wentz. I've just faced Zach again over in the United States tour alongside Trey Miguel. I'm looking to find his number again because I beat him back in 2018 for the CZW tag titles. So I need to fix up and I need to find a way to improve to his level, improve to Robbie X's level, and me and Lycos 2 need to beat them, and we need to take those tag titles so that we can keep our career progressing.
And bringing it back to kind of what you mentioned about being for a promotion for by the wrestlers for the wrestlers, uh, with GYV running the promotion and then obviously wrestling at the same time, what was that dynamic like, and how are they kind of to kind of work with as bookers, knowing that they're such an established tag team in the world of professional wrestling?
I mean, they're pro wrestlers with great minds for it. It was really not that complex as far as the wrestling side of it. They know how to put together a card. They know how to put together a show, and the wrestling side of it was super easy. It was just okay. That's what we need. Okay, let's do that. Um, it's obviously fun seeing them wear the other cap, I guess, because they're so used to just being talents on shows. Uh, I don't really have much to say. It was fine. I had a good time, good experience.
And with the kind of just the sheer amount of talent on the Burning Heart shows and on this show especially, is there kind of a determination kind of to stand out amongst the rest amongst those stars? Like you've got AEW stars, you've got TNA stars, you've got WWE stars. Well, uh, adjacent WWE stars, if you get me. But is there a determination to stand out amongst those this time around?
I don't think there's that stress. Like I think typically on a show where there's big names, especially like younger wrestlers, will try and do infinite amount of things to differentiate themselves, which is not wrong at all. Again, I'm not saying it's wrong, but everyone on this Burning Heart show is different from each other. Everyone on this Burning Heart show is talented, and I think not only do the audience members know that, hence why they're coming to watch Burning Heart, but the promotion knows that, the promoters, the people involved know that, and there's no reason to worry or stress of that you're not up to the standard. Just go out there and do what you do best. Go out there and do your style of professional wrestling and compete with your opponent's style of professional wrestling. And I think I'm rambling away from the point. If you could circle me right back, that'd be wicked. But yeah, I don't think there's that stress of AEW superstars or WWE adjacent or TNA stars. Like they're all just, I mean, for me at least, they're all wrestlers I've wrestled before.
Yeah.
I've wrestled Mark Haskins. I've wrestled the GYV prior to anything happening for them. I've wrestled Trent in tag matches, I should say. I've wrestled Leon Slater in tag matches. These are all people I've encountered on this scene before. So there's no starstruck, there's no worry. I'm just going to go out there and do what I can do, which is my style of professional wrestling.
And following Wolverhampton at the weekend, is there anyone who is a regular on the first tour and who is going to be on the second tour that you'd like to wrestle next in Burning Heart?
I mean, I've never wrestled Leon Slater in a singles match.
Hmm.
I think it was meant to happen a year and a half ago, but fell through, unfortunately, due to other circumstances. I've never wrestled. Well, I should say I've never. I haven't wrestled Drew Parker since before he first went to Japan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if he's gonna be around for another hardcore match, I'll be less willing to do a hardcore match, but I'll be willing to give it a fight. As you know, I've dabbled in that area before. Tag wise, obviously, I want to get back to those tag titles, so we'll keep our eyes on all of the opponents in the tag scene and see who comes out with those belts. Uh, GYV, we've had two matches in the past year, one apiece. So I think we need to settle that score as well. There's loads I can name to do because the whole roster's extremely talented. But number one priority is, in fact, Trent Seven. He would be the first name I would have said had I not been booked to face him on Saturday
Yeah.
because we haven't had it, and I want to challenge myself against Trent Seven.
And before I do let you go, man, you've been great to chat to again today. One kind of we'll go a bit away from Burning Heart just for this one, but back at Progress, Wrestling Never Sleeps, there was a little bit of an issue with the ring ropes, and the cavalry was called in by the ring crew, and you had to come out and kind of help fix it up. What was that experience like for you, especially when you were preparing for such a big match that weekend?
The cavalry wasn't called in; it just kept happening, and no one was fixing it properly. So uh, it's a little bit of like I want to help out because my match is last, so mine will be the most affected by the ring. So I need
Yeah.
to fix it so that I'm not going to get hurt. But second of all, if a member of the roster comes out, it kind of puts pressure on the crew to sort something. They kind of get a bit worried, like, oh, sugar, like
Yeah.
something happened here, which isn't like it's not intentional. It's just
But,
if I put that pressure on a little bit whilst I'm also trying to fix it, shit's gonna get done. You know what I mean? Like stuff's
yeah.
gonna get sorted. So I just wanted to make sure the ring was safe. One for the people on before me because there were still four matches to go, but also for myself because I have to go and compete, and I had too big an opportunity to let the ring be a factor as to why I could potentially not win back that Progress World title.
And just one more before I do let you plug some stuff and let you go, like us. Is there any kind of message you want to say? There's people in Wolverhampton that are considering going but haven't bought their tickets yet. Is there anything that you want to say to those people?
Yeah, I mean, whether local or not, you should be coming to watch this match. This is a match 7, 8 years in the making. This is Wolverhampton wrestling royalty in Trent Seven, one of the most experienced guys on the scene. And I'm out there to prove that I can hang with him. I'm out there to prove that I'm better than him. I have been on this upswing for 3 years since coming back to professional wrestling from
Hmm.
retirement due to injury. And I'm not stopping that. I want to prove that I'm one of the UK's best. I'm one of the best underdogs on this scene. And what better way to prove it than fighting from underneath and beating Trent Seven?
Thank you very much for that, Lagos, and thank you very much again for sitting down with me again. Do you
No
want to
problem.
obviously you've got Burning Heart at the weekend? Do you want to plug anything else and where fans can find you on social media?
Yep, I'm at Kid Lykos on social media. I'm terrible at Twitter, but I still use it. I post on Instagram far more commonly. Um, I have a Facebook page. I don't use it, but you can like it if you'd like. You can follow. Uh, there's a documentary that's being done on me. Um, over the coming weeks, and it'll be out, I guess, in the new year. I would hazard a guess at. That's a at Violent Shakespeare on Instagram. You can find that with links on my social medias anyway. Me and Lycos 2 have a big cartel. We might be releasing something soon on there. Lykosgym.bigcartel.com. That's all my plugs I really have. And come to Burning Heart on Saturday because I'm going to beat Trent Seven.
And guys, once again, Burning Heart will be returning to Wolverhampton, Astoria this Saturday. You can get tickets at ticketline.co.uk. There will be a link in the description if you do want to get tickets for that event. Make sure to follow Lykos on social media, guys, and make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Because like always, for Fightful Scraps, that'll be where the UK and European interviews will be posted from now on. And yeah, guys, see you all in the next one.